Yo, what's going on, everybody? Gabriel Santos here. And right now I want to talk about taking accountability and where the accountability needs to be in this journey, whether you're quitting weed or you're taking a break, right? Because basically, if we kind of simplify things, the hardest part are the cravings, right? Are the cravings, and we can go through the ins and outs of the cravings and finding alternatives and all of that. But at the core of all of it is you, is us, the individual, the one making the decisions. And here's the reality, right? Like, I get it, right? The cravings are a bitch. They can be hard. They can be like they can be an itch like you absolutely need to scratch. And it's hard, right? And the difficult part is, on the one hand, you know that there are times where you really shouldn't smoke, where you really shouldn't use, and that's your moment to not just be disciplined, but to find your alternative option, right? It's no different than, right, if you're like on a diet and you want to lose 10 pounds, and so instead of eating that traditional pizza for lunch, you need to eat something lighter. And that's the hard part, right? That's the fucking hard part. And so, going back to the topic of accountability, and I get that it's hard, but first of all, it's hard because it's a habit that us, the individual, maintained. So it's hard because we're the ones that made our lives this way. And that's kind of the first big pill to swallow, is it's nobody else's fault why we're in this position. But it's also going to be nobody else's fault why we get out. And that's supposed to be an empowering thing, not a overwhelming thing. And if you do feel overwhelmed in this moment about it, then that's okay. But the bottom line is, it's nobody else's fault. And you can't blame the weed cravings. You can't blame your friends who you smoked with. You can't blame society. You can't blame stoner culture. You can't blame the fact that there are dispensaries everywhere now. You can't blame the munchies. You can't blame whatever. And the core of this message comes from not just my own journey, my own experience, but what I think is a incorrect thought process on how to make this work sustainably over time. Because we can't be victims to the cravings. We can't be victims to whatever story you're carrying, right? That it's hard, that I can't do it, that I'll do it next time. And it's tough. It's tough because that means that we're accountable for it all. Same thing with working out, right? It's similar. It's like, how come a billion of us on January 1st swore up and down for New Year's that we were going to make changes, yet on January 12th, like 1% of us are left? Because it's hard. It's hard. But there's a certain level of accountability that you have to bring to the table. And what's at risk is another year wasted doing the same shit again. And I don't usually like to bring this tone to these videos, but you know, the nature of being passive, the nature of doing what's convenient, the nature of doing the same thing over and over and over again, the nature of running towards pleasure is such that if you don't disrupt it, it will take a hold of our lives again. And so this is a disruption for anyone who is in that mode of doing the same old shit and is in a haze and is in a daze. And this is your call to wake back up, to put yourself back in the driver's seat, and to be responsible for your decisions, be responsible for what you said you were going to do. And really, if we were to just kind of take a deep breath, to remember that this is ultimately about you making changes that you want to make, and that you deserve to make those changes, and that you can make those changes, that you're capable of making those changes, and that it is hard. And that it is hard, that the cravings are a bitch and they're hard, that sometimes they're gonna come down on you hard. But it's like no one else to blame but yourself for why you're there, right? It's like, you don't wanna have hard cravings? Well, don't smoke every day for 17 years, you know? Like, and I get it, like, that's not to make anyone like feel bad. It's just, don't play victim to an outcome that you found yourself in, because you're the ones that put yourself there, right? And I'm you know, I am what's the word? I'm criminal number one when it comes to that, right? Like, and it sucks, right? Like, it sucks, but it's like, there is no other option. Like, you know what the other option is? You wait. You become like these people I see on Reddit. I'm 57 years old. I've smoked every day for 30 years. I lost my family. I lost my job. I didn't let my ambition take a hold of me. I completely threw my life away. And if you're someone who's in that state right now, like, I apologize for calling you out, but you know, you're our example today. And god damn, it's hot. Point is, guys, there's nobody coming. The work will always be hard, but it won't get easier unless you take on the challenge, right? It's like, you expect to lift 100 pounds your first time going to the gym. Good luck. Start by lifting a little bit, over and over and over again. Then it gets easier. And so, that's it for today. Hopefully everyone's doing well. If you made it this far in the video, what up? And if you're someone who's looking for direct support, accountability, clarity, to someone not just to hold your hand through this process, but to give you specific guidance tailored to you, reach out to me. That is what I do. I'm here for you, and I hope to hear from y'all. All right, see you in the next one. Peace.